Hey guys, so I haven't made a video in a really long time, and I was watching one of Graveyard Girl's videos, and she has recently um, made a paranormal tag, so I decided, why not try and do it? So, before I get going, let me just say I am not a paranormal investigator. I have had paranormal experiences, and I do want to pursue the paranormal more. But for the time being, I have not really gotten into it. So let's just go ahead and get started with the questions. Number one, how old were you when you had your first paranormal experience? I'm not exactly sure. I was about 12 years old, and it happened out in my backyard, surprisingly. Yeah, I'll touch in on the story on that later because it ties in with a question that comes in later on. Okay, number two. Have you always believed in ghosts? When I was little, I never really thought about ghosts. I never really paid attention to the idea. And then one time my mom was cleaning the house and the TV was on, and she'll just channel surf and then leave it on certain channels just for sound. And it happened to be I can't remember what channel it was on, but it was basically a documentary about, I guess haunted tours where people would, where tour guides would take people through haunted houses and explain them the stories and stuff and all that, and that's when I really started to heavily believe in ghosts. Since then, my beliefs have basically stayed the same. It really scared me when I first started watching it because I was like, the idea of ghosts, that really freaked me out. I asked my mom, I'm like, is our house haunted? Blah, 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 and yeah, so... Number three, where is your favorite place to investigate? Well, like I said before, I haven't really investigated a lot, but out of all the places I have had an experience at, my favorite would have to be my friend's house. She lives out on the lake, and we got a lot of really good activity there, a lot of really nice responses. So, yeah. That'd have to be my favorite place. Number four, favorite tool. I have never used a tool besides a Ouija board. I know, I suck at this whole paranormal investigating thing, but I've only used a Ouija board, so that would have to be my favorite tool because it's the only one I've ever used. Okay. 5, my scariest experience. Okay, this ties back to number 1. My first paranormal experience ever was my scariest. I have 2 dogs right now, but I only had one back when I was 12, and I let him outside to go to the bathroom because my parents were gone, and I had to let him out before I went to bed. So I let him out, and I was watching him as he was going around the yard because I have a really, really big yard. And I was watching him, and I had my eyes focused on him. He was off in a part where the yard was not lit, but I could still see him because he's black and he's got white on him, so you can still see him when he's out far away. And I could see him, and then straight in front of me, because like the way my backyard is set up is when you're looking through the door. Let's pretend this is the door. There's a tree right here, a tree right here, and it just goes straight back. And then I have a shed right here. My dog was overall in the yard this way, and I could see out of the corner of my eye something black moving across the lit part of the middle of the yard. And like I said, my dog is in the pitch black part. He could not cast a shadow that far away. And I just see this black dog-like figure walk across. It was bigger than a normal dog, but another thing that made me think it wasn't mine was it looked mangy. It looked like it had long fur, more wolf-like than a dog, and it was mangy looking, and all I could see was a shadow. I could not see specific features. I could just see outline of the body, but it was shaggy looking, and my dog is a short-haired dog, so he couldn't have cast a shadow like mangy looking, and he was too far away, and he was in the shadows. So I don't feel like it could have been his shadow. I don't see it happening. Next question. Favorite experience? That would be at my friend's house when we had a Ouija board. My friends were never really big into the paranormal thing, so this entire experience could have been a lie, but I'm okay with that because it was fun when we were doing it. Um, the part of town where she lives in, it doesn't have a lot of history, but our town's been around for a while. I live in a really small town, and it was really awesome because we used the Ouija board, and we had come in contact with the spirit of a little girl, and it was weird because it felt like it was real. It didn't feel like my friends were faking it. I know they faked some of the stuff because you can feel when they apply pressure to the little Ouija board thingy, but I felt like some of that experience was a genuine experience. It just felt right. It sat right with me. So that was my favorite experience because the spirit wasn't mean. It wasn't, I don't want to say nice, but it was a pretty neutral experience, and it was a lot of fun. Okay. Number 7. Do you know anyone that has paranormal experiences? Oh, I dropped my paper. Okay. Yes, I do. I have a friend who has experiences all the time, and it scares people a lot because when they're with her, they happen. She's had them since she was a kid, and she sees a lot of shadow figures. She doesn't hear a lot, but she sees a lot of shadow figures and stuff. So, yeah, she'd have to be the answer to that one. Number 8. Do you have trouble convincing family and friends about your paranormal experiences? I never tell anybody about them, so I don't really have a problem convincing people. So, yeah. Favorite paranormal show or movie? Okay, I don't know the name of this show, but it's my favorite because I would always laugh at the guy who was doing it because he would always, like, taunt the ghosts and be a freaking idiot. Like, he'd be like, come get me, come scratch me, blah, 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 blah. And I would just laugh because, I don't know, it was just hilarious. If you were to see it, you would probably laugh too because it's like, are you stupid? One of the ghosts was an alleged rapist at this, I think they were at a mental institute, I think, and one of the ghosts was an alleged rapist, and he hated other men, and he was just like, come at me, and I was laughing. It was really funny. My favorite paranormal movie, I don't know. I don't think I have one. Definitely not Paranormal Activity. I think that one sucked. Except for the part where the mom in Paranormal Activity 2, where the mom got dragged down the stairs and like went into the, like got slammed into the closet. I thought that was hilarious. Okay. Number 10, dream place to investigate. Okay, I would love to go to the Himuro Mansion. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's basically a mansion where every 75 years a Shinto, I don't know if I'm saying that right, a Shinto ritual would take place, and I have to rush through this real quick because it takes a long time to explain, but if any of you have ever played the game Fatal Frame, you would know. It's based off of it, but basically, I've read a bunch of different sites about the rumors behind this mansion, and they all match up, so I just have to assume that that's, this is the correct information. This is only rumor though, this is not fact. But the mansion does exist. So every 75 years, the family believed that bad karma called malice would come, and they would have to seal off a gate to keep the bad karma away. And to do so, they would take a girl and isolate her for her entire life so she could have no connection to the outside world. And when her time came to become the Rope Shrine Maiden, I think that's what they called her, they would take her and basically tie her neck, her hands, and her feet to oxen, and then they'd draw and quarter her? Is that what they call that? I don't know. They basically rip her apart and strangle her. And then they would soak the ropes in her blood and tie them to this so-called portal to keep the bad karma out. Now, another thing they would do they'd pick another girl and they would it's called the blinding ritual, I think, something like that. They would take a mask and where the eye holes would be, there were inverted spikes, and they'd shove them into her eyes and blind her. And they just did that with another girl. I don't know if there was any selection towards that. And anyway, but what happened was the daughter, the one that was going to be the rope shrine maiden, something like that, a guy snuck into her room because she was kept in a cage, I think, and she fell in love with him, and the dad found out, and he went insane and murdered the entire family. So, yeah, I would really like to go there. Don't know if that's true, but I would still like to go there anyway. Okay. Number 11. Do you prefer to investigate alone or in a group? If I were with serious people, then I would love to go in a group because I get scared really easily. But otherwise, I'd rather do it by myself because a lot of people aren't very serious when it comes to paranormal investigation. Number 12. Is your house haunted? I don't think so. I just don't. I've never, besides what happened in my backyard, I've never had an experience here, so. Number 13. Paranormal experience. Have you had any paranormal experiences with animals? Yes, I told you about that earlier in the video, and that is all. If you were wondering, this tag was made by the amazing Graveyard Girl. You should go check her out and do this tag because she's amazing. So, yes, I will talk to you guys later, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.